network to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
We were just talking here about the Hove verse. I pulled up the Genius, the breakdown of Hove's verse, because everyone has been talking.
Now, mind you, this is on Khaled's new album, God Did, that just dropped.
Right. But Hove did also. Don't forget, Hove did. Please, Lord, forgive me for what the stove did. You know what I'm saying? Nobody touched a Billy until Hove did. How many billionaires can come from Hove's crib? I count 3. Me, Ye, and Ree.
Okay.
Bron's a rock boy, so 4 technically.
And that's a stretch, but I like it.
I mean,
He didn't come from the crib. I mean, Kanye came from his crib. You know what I mean? Like, he birthed him in some respects, and
In
Rihanna
some respects.
in some respects. He didn't birth
Rock
LeBron.
Nation.
You know what I'm saying?
To Hove's point though, he's been around and involved with LeBron since early on.
Yeah, no. It's he says it exactly. The only
Right.
problem I
This is
have with the only problem I have with how he said it was he said technically, because technically probably not.
Right.
But in theory, yes, because they have been down since. When you think about his team, the people he's close with.
Right.
And by the way, the real stunt is Beyonce's not yet, or did he just not include her because she's not really from
He didn't
the
include her
house?
because
The
she's not from the house.
Right. That's
Right.
pretty
She made her
crazy.
own.
That's pretty crazy.
Maybe
he didn't
she
even include
should,
B.
Right. Maybe she should make that line in one of her songs.
Right.
Because it all came underneath her being a Billy, or her influence of she upgrading him, no?
That's an interesting argument to make. But either way, the stunning on this verse, high level.
Right.
Cass is explaining to me things that I don't understand. I appreciate. By the way,
It's exciting.
He's Hove is part of Fenty.
Is he?
Well, why does he say we pushing Fenty like fentanyl?
I'm sure he's involved in it at some point, or maybe helped set it up. Because remember, Rihanna, I'm sure most of Rihanna's business stuff went through Rock Nation too, because she is on Rock Nation. So I'm sure they helped manage it or bridge or do something. Listen, we don't know everything.
No, you're right. You're right. We don't know everything. It
But-
makes sense. We pushing Fenty makes sense.
Right.
Right, it kind of makes sense.
Or maybe he's just uplifting her because Rihanna came from his umbrella. So he's just like, yes,
Right.
I'm pushing it. You know what I mean?
The truth is, of all the
knows?
Billies he says he made that come from his house, Rihanna's the most pure of all of them.
Right.
Like, she really was found by them and blew up, and it all happened under Hove. It's by far the biggest success for an artist that was ever under Hove. And Kanye ended up under Hove, of course, but like Kanye had his own hustle and was really giving beats to everyone. And eventually, as you saw in the documentary that was so beautifully done by Kudi and Chike, eventually basically forced Rockefeller's hand into putting out a project. It worked out. It worked out well. Cass, any other bars in here stand out to you the most?
The cap table bar is pretty dope. The cap table, I'm at the cap table what the splits is. Not that cap table, boy. We live this.
You had to explain to me what a cap table even was. I don't. It's not meant for simpletons like me. I don't even know what a cap table is. I was like, the captain's table. I don't. Where's the
Same.
cap?
I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's big business talk right there, man. The cap table is, I think, it's like a spreadsheet where they divide who owns what businesses and percents and splits and all types of, billionaire talk type
Okay,
stuff.
okay.
Your capital.
Yeah.
No cap.
How about the huge shout out to gigs? I see a lot of Hove in gigs. And then he says, me and Meek could never beef. I freed that from a whole bid. Hove did.
But
Next
also,
time we have a discussion who the GOAT, you donkeys know this.
But you see, he actually addressed something right before that gigs line that you're talking about. He said they don't know me. He said, because most people say that Jay-Z is big here, but when he leaves the country, he's not as big.
Right.
So he said, listen, they said they don't know me internationally. People on the road did. I see a lot of Hove in gigs, meaning that gigs from the UK is influenced by him by his style. So that's what he's trying to say there. He's trying to say that, listen, that talk about me not being big internationally, stop it.
Cass, I need you to keep explaining things because, Laura, every time I read these lyrics, I feel like I'm Ari Melber. Like and next time we have a discussion on who the GOAT is, you donkeys know this. Feels very MSNBC. It's very, very cool, though. The verse is interesting. I stand by they did not need other people on the song. I don't know. Like, Ross's verse is good. And then Wayne is in there after Ross. But the thing is, Hove's verse is so impactful and so long, I might have just made that an entire Hove song. Me personally. Could have even separated that into two dope verses, to be honest with you.
True. Throw a little chorus in between, come back again.
Yeah. I just feel like you have, when you listen to the song, and it's no disrespect to Ross and Wayne, but with how prolific both of those guys are, they're always putting out music. You're naturally, when you're hearing the album, want to fast forward to Hove's verse. That's just natural.
Right.
Also, the intro to the album, which is a Drake song, a song of Jay's. I mean, Cass, what do you think that is? That's like it feels like a piece of a song that's turned into the intro for the Khaled album.
Yeah, it feels like something Drake had lying around, and he was like, "Yeah, you can have this, man. Go ahead, use it." But not for nothing. If it was me, I'd use it too.
Well, of course you would.
Put it right there. Yo, Drake's on the album.
Drake was combing his hair. He's like, "Here, use this. Use this one too."
Yeah, as he was brushing his locks.
I like what Drake like.
I think that. I got to tell you, in the interview that Khaled did with Speedy Mormon for Complex, he had a couple of real gems, and that I like what Drake likes was very funny.
I like Speedy trying to hold his composure, like trying not to bust out laughing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, if you haven't sat with Khaled before in a real way, you have to hold back because you're like, wait, should I be laughing? Or if I'm laughing here, is that disrespectful? But you're saying things that are crazy.
Right. Accurate.
I like accurate. Yo, when he said accurate to us, he wasn't joking.
Right, he wasn't trying to have a funny slang.
He wasn't trying to say funny things when he said accurate or when he said, holler at my manager. His name is Jay-Z. You may have heard of him. His name is Jay-Z. I mean, he's being funny, but shouts to Speedy, though. It was a fun interview.